Hi everybody, I'm MCDXCOM and I'm going to do a beginner's guide here for this great game called Pitwall, which is a Grand Prix management game. It's one of my favourite games online. I play this a lot, and I've just noticed since the new update there's not been much of a beginner's guide, so what I intend to do is take you through a day by day what you want to do if you're starting a brand new team. Basically what I would suggest to do to get yourself in the best possible situation as soon as possible, and by best possible situation as in not bankrupt, and not make any noob mistakes that a lot of people make that really do hit you hard, because there's a big learning curve to this game. So I just want to tell you three golden rules that I'm going to help you avoid as a new player. Well, not avoid, but hope you help you out with. Avoid making three golden mistakes, basically. First one is hire a head designer before you build your car, and the second one is hire a head commercial and commercial staff. Get your finances in order before doing anything else. Budgeting is key. Make sure you don't go bankrupt. And then the third golden rule is do not put the suppliers' contracts in the place for sponsorship, and that is a massive one, which I'll show you what it means in a minute. So what you have to do first of all, this is the home page. It is www.pitwall.org. First thing, you've got to create a login, register. I'm going to have to do this as a fake one. I'm sure I won't get banned, as Frank will be okay with this, who's the guy, because you're only allowed one team at a time. So obviously I've got my team that I play, but for the purposes of this video I'm going to create a fake team. So you just log in with your details, your email, which I'm quickly going to do now. Put in a password. How much is 1 + 1? That is 2. Sign up. So I'm guessing I'm going to get an email now. Right, so we need to confirm an email. Oh, this is new. This is new for me because I've never done this. So there's a little bit of a tutorial here that you might want to have a read through. But what I'm going to do is go through the various bits. Here we are. Welcome to Pitwall. Please confirm your email. So let's do that. Just reply. Try to keep. Please confirm your address in the settings page. Okay, so I need that code. So let's go back. So now we go settings. So it's up here. Email settings. Confirm code. Stick that in there. Confirm email address. Bosh. There we go. So that's done. So now I've been confirmed. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through the first things you've got to do. So at the top here you've got management, commercial, R&D, personnel, championship, press and session. Management is like your desk, your what basic things come up here. You've got a newspaper on the right hand side, and you've got team related news here. So at the moment we're a brand new team, so we've got no car, no drivers, no nothing. Okay, but bear with me on this. It's gonna be, most people when they join, they go in, they try and do everything at once. That's not the best way to do it, although it's what you want to do because you want to get stuck in. You've got to hold back a bit and take your time. If it means you miss the first race, trust me, miss the first race, start on the next race. Just, you know, I know you want to get stuck in, but if you want to get in the best possible position, it's best to get your budget sorted and everything else first of all. A little bit of donkey work and time, holding off if you like, will set you up in the best possible way. So there's several main staff members. If you go to personnel up here, you've got drivers and staff. If you go to staff, there's several heads of abilities. So the most important man in your team, in my opinion, is your head designer. Okay, what's going on here? I've got some sort of error. Am I not logged in? End tutorial. Okay, this is the right. Okay, this is the thing. So at the moment, if I go to just to show you my team, then oh yeah, we've got to name a team. We've got to create a team, which we haven't done yet. So this is just us logged in. So we need to create a team. Right. We want to found a new team. You can take over free teams. Like there's several free teams here that have manager lists that we could apply and take over. In that respect, you would probably get a team like, let's have a look at this one, Almini Motors. That so I've got no sponsors because this is your sponsorship slots. It's bankrupt, so that's a great start, but it has got some staff here. It's got some drivers and things there, and it's also got some contracts signed up for engine, etc. To be honest, that's a bad idea. We want to be doing this as cheap as possible for your first season. So I would suggest, if you can, found a team. So let's go back to that. So go management, team, and we're going to found a new team. So that way you get to call it a name. So first of all, don't worry about this bit at the top. This is team presentation. Don't worry about that yet. You can do that once you are ready to go, and I suggest that you do a cheapy one for your first season. You can change team colours and stuff like that. You can upload your own custom livery if you are a Pitwall supporter, which means you have to pay, but this game is free. So we need to call it a name, so I'm just going to call it fake team because I want it to be deleted as soon as possible. You can pick your division to an extent, 3.1, 3.2, etc, etc. I'm just going to pick 3.10 as there's not many people in there, so we're not going to get in the way of anyone. You can also do short-term focus of your team. I personally nearly always have this on designers. Let's enter the division. So our team is now created. Short-term versus, let's just go designer. It might be worthwhile actually doing it for commercial to start off. I've never really thought of that. But there we go. You can specialise as well here. I personally always have it on specialised quick developers and quick mechanics, because mechanics build your parts for the car, and I just find developing always best. But again, a new team, you're not going to maybe do much development, so it might be worth doing it on commercials. But this is a 2-year specialisation, so you're not going to be able to get to change this for 2 seasons. Shares down here. This is really important that I explain this very quickly to you. Each team has 100 shares that can be sold. Now, if you look at all the teams, the biggest teams and the most successful teams often have not sold any of their shares at all, because the moment you sell 1 share, you lose control of your team. You're now a manager that's hired by the team, even if it's just 1 share that you sold. So a lot of people sell like 49 shares and thinking they're going to keep in control. You don't. A board of directors takes control, and you can then get sacked. So it's a bit like football manager games where then you can get sacked. So unless you have to, don't sell any of them. So for the moment, don't worry about it. And also, because you're a brand new team, your team's only worth 50 million anyway, so you're not going to get that much money out of it. You're better off waiting until later on. Right, so I'm going a bit off topic. We want to hire some staff now. So we've got a team, so now we can see our team. Fake team, there we are, and we've got a 10 million starting balance. Now, in my first season, I really struggled getting sponsors, and I managed to actually last the season on 10 million, which you can do. Obviously, I made mistakes that I'm going to tell you not to make, so you're going to be in a better situation than me. But I made some stupid newbie errors when I started as well, and I really struggled, and it really messed me up for the second season as well. So this is your team here. So when you display your car, you get to pick your colour and everything, and it goes up the top there. You've got your manager's name. Apparently I'm a Pitwall supporter. Don't know how that happened. We're in Division 3.10. Financial status is stable. And this, don't worry about this. This has small bonuses, but it doesn't really make much difference. Okay, so the first thing your team needs is an income. This is what I'm talking about by taking it slowly. We don't really want to hire any drivers yet. We don't want to hire any non-essential staff. We want to get 2 heads of department, which is a head commercial, which does your sponsorship, and a head designer to design your car, which I'll talk about in a minute. Everything else can wait. Only wait 1 or 2 days. So what you'll find with this game is you'll play it every day, but maybe spend 5-10 minutes on it. That's all you need to do. You can, trust me, spend hours on it looking at everything, but just to keep your team ticking along. Because there's only one race a week. It's on the Sunday, and testing for the weekend race is on Wednesday and Thursdays, and then qualifying is Friday and Saturday. Now you only need to do one lap to get qualified, so you've got a whole 2 days to do qualifying laps. You've got plenty of time to get it done. Okay, so this is the commercial, this is the team page, and you've got here your sponsors. So the section 5 sponsor slot, this is like your big engine plate, your biggest, most, so you want the sponsor to pay a lot of money to go there. So you want a section 5 sponsor, then you've got 2 section 4s, 3 section 3s, section 2s, 1, etc. So these are like on your truck and on your minor sponsors. So I'll go through that in a bit more detail now. So we want to go to commercial, and you want to go to sponsors. So this is where you hire your sponsors and stuff like that. But at the moment we've got no staff. So we go back to personnel. This is what I was trying to show you earlier on, but because we hadn't created a team, it didn't come up. So here's your staff pool. We've got no designer, no mechanic, no commercial, no coach, no scout. These definitely don't worry about, especially early on. And roles down here, you've got 5 heads of tomato roles, so we've got to fill the commercial manager role. So we go to job market, don't worry about nationality, age, anything like that. We want someone who wants to be a commercial manager. We want him not to have a team because we want him to join us immediately. Now degrees, you can go for someone. So this guy is going to be business administration. Let's see if there's any masters out there, and we want it ordered by experience descending. So there's some bad experienced guys with a master's 91. He's 60 years old, and well, I say he, it looks like she's a female. This bit in brackets is what week of the season their birthday is. There's a 13-week season, so obviously they go up 1 year every 13 weeks, depending on which season it is. So these are some masters. Now we could take a risk on someone who doesn't have a degree, and see what happens there. No difference. They're all the same. So these guys, that's pretty high for a master's degree. I'm happy hiring one of them. I'll go for someone a little bit younger. 53, 48, there we go. Let's go for this guy. Experience bad. Now, clicking this person, you get a little picture of who they are. Unless you're not a supporter for some reason, this thinks I'm a supporter. Probably done on my IP or something. He's got a master's. Now this is his skills. So obviously he's not a driver, so don't worry about that. He's a commercial manager. So at the moment we only know his experience, which is bad. These are the most important ones, and they're hidden. You have to scout them out. But at this point, beggars can't be choosers. We need someone. We can replace them later on. So let's approach this guy. So we go approach up here. So this is now negotiations. This guy, wow, this is good. He wants absolutely no money. So this is salary per week. Remember, there's 13 weeks. I personally pay, I think 50,000 a week for my guy that I've got on my actual other team. But obviously he's a lot better than this guy. But he doesn't want money, and he's unemployed, so he's quite happy to join us. That's what this power position bit here is. So yeah, let's offer him £1,000 then. I'm pretty sure he will be happy with that. We're going to give him the head commercial role. You can give him a junior role if you have the slots for that. And you know what, I'm just going to sign him up for 2 seasons, because it's season 7 at the moment. So signing up for 2 seasons, we can always replace him. He's going to be a head. Minimum number of races, this is the if you don't have them in the head role for a certain number of races, they can then get out of their contract. So obviously they want to do the full 10 races. He's only asking for 2. I'll just give him the 2. Gives me the chance to replace him later on without actually sacking him. Bonuses, this is if we win the championship, you're going to give him 18 grand or 33. Well, that's what he's demanding. You can offer him left. I could probably offer him 0 and he will accept it. And that's what I'm going to do. You get nothing, mate. Allowed to talk to other teams. I don't really care because he's not that good a designer, commercial, so I'm not really bothered if another team wants to try and steal him from me. That means they sign up a new contract for after your one finishes. So you can do that if you don't want him to do that, and then you've got first dibs on him if you want to keep him. He's asking for relegation release clause and an option to extend it for another year after that one. Just for the sake of getting him, I'm going to give him that. Offer contract. Okay, normally it comes up. Right, someone's. Oh right, he's joined immediately. Because you're a brand new team, you get instant joining. So that's good. So he's signed immediately. He's happy with the contract offer. So I was expecting it to take a bit longer than that. So that's good. So we've now got a head commercial. And we're paying him no money, which is good. So let's get a designer. So again, third job, designer, no team, experience descending. Again, there's some bads here. There's one with a master's degree. Let's see if anyone's got a master of engineering. 86%. I'll go for one of these. These are an indicator of how good they are, but they don't necessarily mean they are the best out there. You could have someone who's got a master's 100% and they're not as good as someone with a master's or even a bachelor's of lower figures. But it's an indication of how intelligent they are and how effective they are going to be. But it's not guaranteed. I have seen some designers out there that are very, very good with no degrees at all. So that's just an indicator, but for choosing it I would go by it. So let's just pick this guy. He's 54 years old, he's Dutch, he'll do. Approach him again at the top. Again, he wants no money. This is really good. I wasn't expecting this. Again, we'll give him a 2-season deal. Head designer. We'll give him his 2 races. I'll give him 0 as well. He wants extra often per person, extra often for team. That allows you to extend his contract if you want to in his final year. That'll do. Offer contract. And is it going to do the same thing as before? Instant join? I think it indeed has. So now we go to personnel and staff. We will find we've got 2 staff members here in our staff pool. So let's assign them. Have I done something wrong? Have we not got a facility? Yes, here we are. So we've got to build a headquarters. So you go to management, facilities, construct your basic free headquarters, level 1. And that is done as well. So now we go back to staff, personnel staff, and here we are. This is what I was looking at, I was expecting to see earlier. You've got the options to put people in these various positions. So now we've got a designer, this guy, and we've got a commercial manager, this guy. For the moment, don't worry about anything else. Just keep these guys. Right. Now we need to get some money. So go back to commercial. Oh no, hang on. Right, we've got to hire some staff. I would say starting off, 20 commercials would be enough. We're only able to have 100 staff. We're going to need some designers, we're going to need some mechanics, we're going to need some commercials. So I would say go with 50 designers, 30 mechanics and 20 commercials to start off with, and then you can do other options later on. For the moment, just to make sure you're sure about all that, I'm only going to do the commercials right now. So 20 commercials, hire. So what we need to do now is go and get some sponsors. These are your sponsorship slots here. So you've got your main sponsor, 2 section 4s, 3 section 3s, etc, etc. So this is the one that gives you the most money. These ones are the next main ones, and then you've got some others for the rest of the team. These number 1-star ones are sort of things like, you know, on your team truck and stuff like that. That's what they sort of represent. So obviously this one's going to pay you, I don't know, I'd expect at least $1 million a week from these guys. These, you know, around close to that again, and then from there down, you know, 300,000, etc, etc. That's what I'd expect as a brand new team. I personally looking to get 3 million a week from this one, but you've got to get higher sponsors that are only available to higher teams, and if you're in a low division they don't want to sponsor you, etc, etc. So I'd expect to get 4 to 5 million a week after filling all these in as a new team in Division 3. That's what the target is, around there, and then from that you can budget. So these also take quite a while. I wouldn't go straight in for trying to negotiate with Section 5. They take quite a bit of time. I would say 3 or 4 weeks to negotiate that one. So you need money straight away. So you want to go in tops level 3, maybe even start level 2, and just start getting an income in as quick as possible. Alright, so that's your sponsors. So by doing that, so we've hired 20 commercials and we've hired a commercial manager. So now we've got to assign them to people, to sponsors. Right, so these are the available sponsors. I think we'll start with Section 2. So let's check Section 2. These are the ones that are available now. Okay, which is great. This bit here is quite key. We're in Division 3, so we need to make sure that they are actually interested in sponsoring a Division 3 team. This bit's also important, is how many other teams are already negotiating with them. So ideally we want to go for some that aren't negotiating with anyone else, so it means you're not going to waste time, because this team might be already close to making a deal. So if we join in, start negotiating with them, and then they sign with the other team, well, we've just wasted all that time negotiating with them when we could have been negotiating with someone else. At this stage, for the first part of the game, just get whatever sponsors you can, and it's all about just getting some money coming in, and then once you sort of know what you're doing with the game, that's when you can look to improve everything. Always improve everything. So ideally you want short contracts. Don't hire drivers up for 8 years. What the chances are they're going to be crap, and you're going to want to replace them. If they're signed up for 8 years, you've got to pay them to leave the contract, which money's key in this game. So we want to go for someone who's not negotiating with anyone and is interested in actually sponsoring our team. Now over here we've got the wealth of the sponsors. They're only 2-star. That's okay, don't matter. I wouldn't have thought a new team, sponsors that are available right now are going to be the ones that no one else really wants. That's just the way it's going to be. Power position, this as well, this is something you don't need to worry about too much, but if the power position's high, it's how what's a good way of saying this, how up their own arse the sponsors are. As in, if they've got a high power position, it means they've had lots of interest from other teams wanting them to sponsor them, and they think, oh la-di-da, we can pick and choose who we sponsor, everyone wants us to sponsor them, sort of thing. So really, as a new team, you want people who are not in a good power position, you want people who are just happy to sponsor anyone they can get hold of, i.e. you, because you're the new kid in the block with no experience, no credibility, no ratings on your team. You're at the bottom of the pile, so you want bottom of the pile sponsors, unfortunately. Okay, so that's what that means. And then this bit here, which is blank at the moment, is the interest they currently have in sponsoring your team. So notice there's no stars there at all. So this is what we've got to build up first of all. You can't just go straight into negotiations, because, well, they're going to take ages to actually be interested in you. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick all these ones. I'm going to go down the list a bit, just because in my theory someone else doing the same thing is going to pick these ones. I'm going to go down here. No, I'm not. I'm going to do some 2-stars. So 2-star here. So I'm just going to put 5 people. So remember, we've got 20 staff. 5 staff assigned to them. I'm going to do 5 on these guys. 5 on these guys, and you guessed it, 5 on the guys above. So they've all not been negotiated with so far. So this isn't negotiating, this is my commercial team and the commercial manager focusing on building interest with that sponsor. And what you want to do, you want to wait for the interest stars to get to about 2 or 3 stars, and then you want to negotiate with this box over here. So I would have thought on a 2-star we can wait until tomorrow, and we've probably got some interest in there. So we'll see what happens with that. So that's sponsors sorted for the moment. So remember, at the moment we've still not got an income, but basically you've got 10 million, and that's all you've got for the season, and that isn't enough really. You need 20 million, so we need to get some money coming in, even if it's only a couple of million a week. It's not a problem. You can sort that out. You've got plenty of time, but you don't want to make any serious design decisions and spend money in certain areas without knowing what you've got coming in. Right, what you want to do now is go to R&D and development, because we need to build a car. So I'll just check we've got the staff in their various roles. Yeah, we've got our designer, we've got our commercial designer, so we don't need to worry about mechanic at the moment. We don't need to worry about drivers. So let's build a car. So now this was golden rule number 1: hire a head designer before you build a car, because as a brand new team you get some immediate builds, i.e. you can immediately design the car like that, snap your fingers, it's done, and it's ready to go. And the idea is that you're not bogged down, and you can get racing for the first weekend if you want to. Okay, I suggest you probably will be able to race that weekend, but I would suggest don't rush into it. If you're not ready, don't rush into it. Just wait one more week. It's not going to hurt you, and then start racing the next week if you need a bit more time to get everything ready. So we need to build a chassis for the car, and then you've got other things to do as well down the bottom. You've got the gearbox, you've got fuel tank, suspensions. We basically got to design all these parts. Now designing parts normally takes a while, you know, a week or so, sometimes only a few days depending on the part and how good your design team is. So at the moment we don't have a design team, we've just got one head designer, but that's all we need for the quick instant designs. So we're going to do brand new. It's for season 7. We name our chassis. I'm just going to call it chassis. Designers, well, we've got no designers, so 0. Wheelbase. Now long wheelbase is faster on the straights, and short wheelbase is faster in the corners. So pick whatever you want really. I'm just going to stick medium. Design approach: aggressive, normal, conservative. Right, if it's aggressive, it all depends on your head designer's abilities, which we don't actually know what his abilities are, but his abilities are going to be much better than no one's ability. If you had no one there, then you're just definitely going to get the bottom of the pile car. So just to avoid that, I mean, I'm just going to do normal, but basically it means the chances of you getting, basically you've got 0 is say normal, and with normal you've got a +1 chance of an improvement, or a -1 chance of going backwards. And aggressive is +2 for going. Sorry, it's the other way round, I think. Conservative is a -1 for going backwards, and a +1 for going forwards. Normal is +2 and -2, and aggressive is +3 and -3. I don't know if that makes much sense. It just means you've got more chance of aggressive of getting a much better chassis, but you've also got more chance of it going way further in the other direction. And then this bit down here is the focus. I personally am a big believer in focusing on weight, but you know, it's whatever you feel like. You've got weight, which is big. You know, a lighter chassis is going to be faster. Then you've got your aerodynamics and your grip. The grip is how well it holds the road. Aerodynamics is the how least resistance the wind is. You're an F1 fan, you know what those are. Anyway, it costs 500 a week. 500 grand a week if it takes you a week to develop it. And this is going to take me immediately no time at all. So we start project, and it should miraculously, here we go, first development plan of each type of part people can fit instantly, and then we run it as close to finish. Right, there we go. So straight away it says here chassis, here's the part, progress, it's finished. Normally it would say setting up, and then you're developing it and you've got to wait as it goes along, blah blah blah. This is finished, so we've finished that, and looky, here we are. We've got our chassis. It's very heavy. That's very heavy, but there we go. So that indicates that he's rubbish, as he's made a very heavy car. But anyway, and we focused on weight. So that's the first bit done. You can then develop that. Once you've done some testing, you reveal the actual ability of the car apart from its weight on the aerodynamics and the grip, and then you do some more testing and you reveal how well you can improve it from this part to these bits up here, the potential. Once you've revealed that, you can then upgrade the chassis and improve on it. And that's the same for every part. You can brand new or you can base it on the old part. So again with this one, so I'm just going to call this gear. Oh sorry, what am I doing? This is, yeah, gearbox, yeah. And you choose the chassis you're basing it on. Well, we've built that one, so it's on that one. It's brand new. Design is 0. I'll leave it on there. I'll do weight again. Bosh. There it is. Finish. We've got a gearbox. And you keep doing that for all your other parts. And then you've got designs for your car. These are just designs. You now have to build them. So this is where your mechanics come in. As I said, I personally have 30 mechanics because that allows you to do 15 on each car's pit stops, because you have to have a pit stop team for each car for some reason. That's the way it is. So I think, you know, sometimes you've got up to 15 to be used on each driver. So again, I'm going to see if this instant build will work with if I don't have any mechanics or even a head mechanic, because the head mechanic really just improves your pit stops. I don't think he has much to do with this. But it's saying I can't choose anyone, so let's just see what happens. Let's build 3 chassis. Actually, let's build 2, so I think you only get 2 free builds. Start production. Error. Okay, we have to hire someone. So we go back to the staff. As we did earlier, we need to hire a head mechanic now. Job market. Mechanic. Team, no team. Mechanical engineering, please. Order by. Sending experience. Here we go. Masters 91 degrees. Well done, sir. You've just been hired. I will give you 1,000 a week. I'll sign you up for 1 season because the chances are I'm going to replace you, and I'm not going to give you a bonus. And you're not having that either. Alright, this guy wants to think. Unlike the other one, he doesn't instantly want to join our team. So he's going to decide on Thursday. Now, I know I offered him nowhere near what he wanted, but if no one else offers him a job, which I think is highly unlikely that will happen, he will sign for you anyway. You can pay him nothing. So don't worry about it, we'll get him. But basically, building parts is exactly the same as I've just showed you there. Now for chassis, you're going to need at least 2, because you've got 2 drivers racing. I build 3, but for the point of this, a chassis will take you about a week to build, and development, if you're developing it from new, normally without this quick build it would probably take you 3 or 4 weeks to design. So that gives you the idea, bear in mind it's a 13-week season, how, you know, if you're really lucky you can maybe develop the chassis twice. So that gives you an idea of, and obviously the cost as well. It's costing you $500,000 a week, so that's going to cost you, you know, 3 or 4 million just to do the chassis over the course of the season. And then you've got all the other parts as well. Gearbox is one of the most important parts, and then you've got the other bits and bobs all the way down here. But that's what you've got to do. So you've got to get your personnel. I think if I'd offered him a bit more money he would have joined immediately, but he didn't. So it's up to you what you do there, whether you give him what he asked for. To be honest, he wasn't asking for much money. £3,000 a week is not much, bearing in mind most people who are quite good are demanding way over 100,000 a week. But anyway, so that's that. So now I want to take you to one more thing. This is golden rule number 3. Suppliers. In order to race, you need an engine, you need tyres, you need fuel, and you need brakes. Now these are the engines. They range in ability and how much they cost. It tells you here how many teams have signed up for them. There are 3 contracts you can get. You can get a customer deal where you literally just pay them the money and you get the engine. You can get a partner deal, which means you get some improvement over the course of the season. So this bit over here, so some of these are revealed. So MCR's revealed. It's a very light engine compared to the others, so that helps. Its speed is very good, acceleration good, reliable very good. Superb is the best. So after very good there's excellent and superb. There are substats in between there that are hidden. So this is where it is. Now this bit here, the very good, very good bits, that changes season to season. So as you can see, the MCR, although it's the lightest engine, or one of the lightest engines there, and it costs you 9 million a season and £750 an engine, that is actually better than Medary at the moment, which costs you more money but isn't as good. Now last season Medary was much better than MCR. Quite a bit better, almost a second a lap better. So this changes. So the thing is, until you test with the car, you don't actually know what you're going to get. So you've got to really pick your engines when you're really getting competitive. Pick them sensibly. So as you see, most people have gone for MCR, which probably is one of the best choices. I don't know how good Fakami is. They're often excellent or superb. So they're probably up there, but they do cost a hell of a lot and they do weigh quite a bit. So it's one of those things. I normally go for MCR or something else. But as you're a brand new team, there's only one option for you, sir. Go for Cryspeed. It's the cheapest chips one. Do not worry about it. Even if you've got a dog of a car, your sole aim for your first season on Pitwall is to finish races. That's it. If you score points, I would be absolutely ecstatic. Finishing races is going to be number one, and to be honest, you may have a tough time doing that. Just finishing the blooming races. So for the moment, Cryspeed, save money. We've got no income. We've got to get the cheapest one. It costs you £1 million over the whole year, which is nothing a week, and it costs you the least amount to buy engines. So you're going to need at least 2 engines every week anyway. So that's going to, well, unless you save them and use them again and again. But for your initial week, you've got to pay 800,000 just to buy some engines. So anyway, we're going to negotiate with them. We need to set your so this is what I was talking about earlier, works, partner or normal. So we're going to go for normal, because obviously you're going to have to pay a lot more money to do that. We're going to offer them what they want, £1 million. We're going to offer them that £1 million and sign them up just one season. You may want to change it after that. You can always do another deal. Again, set the amount of commercials you want. I've used them all on sponsors for the moment, so I would suggest you either hire more or put them on these for a moment. You only need 2 or 3 for suppliers. You don't need many at all. Now this is the bit I was talking about, golden rule number 3. Do not tick any of these boxes, because these are your sponsor slots where you get paid money for having sponsors on. If you give this for free to the engine people, you're not going to be able to make money from these sponsor slots, and I have seen many cars, teams do this, absolutely fill up their car with tyre contracts and the engine contracts, and then oh yeah, they want to get sponsors, they can't, because there's nowhere to put sponsorship on their car, and clearly they go bankrupt, and then they get bored and leave the game, because this is a steep learning curve and there's no second. The best thing to do is either bin the team and apply for another team as a manager, or you kick everyone out your team, you sell everything you can sell, work on no money, and eventually recover, but it might take 2 or 3 seasons. So that's golden rule number 3. Do not tick any of these boxes on suppliers. Okay, and you do that for your tyres as well. Again, pointer, only pointer first. If you're just joining, just do pointer. You've got no money, you can't afford any of these ones. You can't even afford this one, but that's the only option you've got to go for. And fuel, bottom one again. Brakes, bottom one again. Just get the basic stuff. Once you learn the game and you've done got a season under your belt, then start looking at improving your team and going up in the world. The chances are as well, so if we look at our division, there's only actually 2 teams, these 2 up here, that are looking active. This guy hasn't been online since May, so I doubt he's going to be playing. These 2, so the chances are, if you finish a race, you are going to be getting points, because there's only 4 drivers in front of you. So the chances are you're going to get some prize money coming in and slowly build up a fan base as well. So this is a good thing about being in Division 3. They're not always full, so you don't always have to have much competition initially. So you've got time to build your team up and get improved. So anyway, so hopefully that's my beginner's guide. I probably didn't do it in the most efficient way of explaining it to you. There's a lot to play around with. Do play around with everything. Just remember, get some income coming in before you make any major decisions on money. Golden rule: do not give your supplier contracts sponsorship space on your car. That is for sponsors only. Sponsors who pay you money, like these guys, only give them to these guys here. And again, rule number 1: do not rush into building this car without having a head designer. It doesn't matter even if he's a pretty crap designer, because he probably is going to be a pretty crap designer, but he's going to be vastly better than building a car with no one actually designing it. And imagine a box with wheels, because that's what your car's going to be if you don't have a head designer. Anyway, so that's that. I'll let you play around with the rest. See my sort of review of the game if you want a bit more in-depth look at the various bits and bobs. Go to the forums, community forum. If you've got any questions, go on here and ask. There is a really good community of people here. They're always willing to help you. Some may even give you tidbits of information of tactics and how to, you know, win and get ahead. I've given you the 3 golden rules there, so that should set you up in the best possible way without going bankrupt like these teams over here on the right. And yeah, enjoy the game. It is a great game. It's really good fun. Where is the forum? Why is it not coming up? Looks like the game's crashed. Great. Just as I'm doing a beginner's guide, it crashes. It doesn't often crash, by the way. Anyway, yeah, so there's a forum on here. Just log in and say hello and ask for help. You know, there's plenty of people there who are really happy to help. So yeah, hopefully that helps you out as a new player. Thank you very much for watching this video. Bye. Oh look, there it is. It's come up now. There you go. This guy, he's always banging on about morale. He's actually in my division, so I wind him up all the time. But yeah, he's a good guy. He knows a lot as well. He's always happy to help. I'm often on the forum. You got Frank there. He's the guy who created the game, Frank van Leer. So you know, these people are always on here. Ask anything. If you've got any problems, ask. Got any good ideas, post it. People will get back to you. This guy as well, Robert Bouchard. He is often on the forum, and he really knows the game inside out as well. So, and there's plenty of others in that respect as well. So do ask if you've got any issues. Thanks again, and enjoy the game. Bye.